Hello, welcome back to the layout. And since I was running it last week, there was one of the comments, and that was off Kenneth, so thank you very much. Really, and they were sort of saying that I've got the buffer stops a bit too high. And I did trim some off the bottom of the buffer stops before I fitted them. And last week when I was sort of doing a bit of shunting, I did notice that, and I was thinking, and not all the wagons are exactly the same buffer heights. The Terrier is quite a lot lower, and I thought it was just something to do with that. But investigation, I definitely needed to remove more of the bottom from the buffer stops, so I'm going to need to take those out. So really appreciate the any feedback sort of thing. Really good constructive feedback is really useful. So I just need sometimes a little bit of help or a little bit of guidance. Have I gone wrong? And yes, so I'm going to fix that now. And that's the first job. Obviously, you can see I've taken all the detail back off this because I moved it into the house because it was cold in the conservatory, and it started to rain tonight. So I thought I'd just move it just into the house so I could get this job done. So I'm going to desolder the wires, take these off, and then cut a piece off the bottom. I'll just show you now how they look. And it's probably easier to show you on this one, the back there. So you can see quite a bad height there. And what I have realised is this piece here, I did trim a piece off, but this should actually sit flush. So I need to remove that piece completely. And then they'll fit nice and flush. So it's going to be a job to get these back off because I glued them in. It's only with PVA, but it's still stuck on well. Right, I've just put this one on just so you can compare the height. And that one, I've taken quite a lot off, as you can see. So I actually even think, even without me taking this piece off there and quite a bit to go up, they still would have been too high, these Pico ones. But that's actually right now, so I'm going to get that one fitted back on and remove the other one. Right, I would say that's about perfect. So that does look a lot better as well. So also you can see on the legs there, they sort of look like they're fitted into the concrete more. So that's good. Hi, one thing I noticed when I was trying to do some shunting last week was getting them to couple and uncouple. Absolute such a faff, and obviously I used the screwdriver and things like that and lifted them up sometimes, but it just wasn't that easy. So I've come across these, and these are magnetic couplings, and these are MagLink bespoke GLR Services. So I thought I'd give these a go. I do think I bought the wrong ones because these are the single magnetic couplings. So obviously it depends on which round you've got your wagons. And they do a omni couplings with 2 magnets. And I was thinking that's probably the one I should have bought. So I'm going to have a go at just fitting these into one magnet at the moment. These are specially designed for the dapole, and you can get ones designed for kits and things like that. So I'm going to have a go at get one on one of the wagons I've got initially, and then start to have a look at fitting them on other products. So I think the first one would be, because I want to do a little bit of shunting, I want to be able to uncouple and couple a lot easier. Right. And these have really small sort of chains on them, so I just need to unclip, work out how to remove these, and then fit these new ones. So give me a few minutes and I'll go on the first one, and then I'll show you on my next one. Right, I've got one end fixed in, but without the spring this time, and you'll see that it's a lot shorter, and just didn't give me the room to put the spring on. So I've decided that I'm going to fit them without the spring, and just see how that looks. I've just put a piece of wire around it. I've actually used just the wire off a resistor, because that was the only thing thin enough that would go through the hole. I did try a pin, but that didn't seem to want to work. So it was just sort of manhandle the little O-ring. I managed to get that off without too much trouble. Set side's giving me a lot more grief. Could do with a second pair of tweezers, I think. And I did use the magnifying glass just to make life a lot easier. So I'm going to get this end off. It is only just a hoop of wire. I don't want to break it. I won't be able to put them back on if I want to. So give me a minute or so and I'll get that off. Right, I've got one fitted to the brake fan. I'm just going to put one on one end of the brake fan. The idea of that is that will then just look as it would do in normal service at the other end. So these are slightly chunkier, but not by much, you know, so they are plastic, so they don't stick, just sticks to the magnet. So the ones on the wagon, I'm not quite happy how loose they're sitting and they can twist around, so I'm thinking I'm going to glue those in instead. But the idea is let's get them on the track, is you're shunting up, tracks together, and then you can move off. And all you've got to do is just press down with probably something that's not really magnetic. And they should come apart, but it depends on how close you are. So, but it could be a little bit interesting, doing a little bit of shunting. So I think that should work okay. As the sort of mile wagons, I don't really mind if I glue those ones in. Now on the brake fan, I've managed, it is a completely different coupling, and it uses, where's the original coupling? So yeah, so there's the original coupling, and it uses the exactly the same length bar, so it means that you can put the spring on and the little clip that goes behind it. So that's what I've done. And I think the locos will be exactly the same as that. So they look the same length, slightly different process. They've got a spring on the end there. So I'm just going to fit one to one end of the loco for the shunting as well. So, but I think that should be okay. It means that I can have them on the inside, and they're quite tight. I did get the extra strong magnets for some reason. I should have probably got slightly weaker ones. You know, but you never really know until you've actually tried these out. Okay then, let's see if this all works. Well, they seem to couple okay. Let's see how easy it is just to uncouple that rake from the engine. I just need something to push down. And the answer is, because they're still too close together. So, I've recoupled it. Perhaps the weaker magnets might have been a better option. Well, is that any better than the standard couplings? They look okay, you know, a little bit chunkier than the chains, but uncoupling, obviously, they're quite powerful magnets. So you need to just drop them down once you've uncoupled them, and then leave a gap. So, but the sort of couple up nice. So a lot of the time is, if you want a couple of wagons to pick up, drop off somewhere, and then bring something new in, that sort of works. Okay, I'm going to leave that video here. These couplings, what do I rate them as? Well, they do the job. They're a little bit better than the hooks that come standard, I think, but they've still got a little bit of fiddliness and do the work. They sort of work, yes, but they're very difficult to uncouple. Anyway, I wish you a very good evening, a very good rest of the day, and enjoy your weekend. Take care.